Hi everybody, I'm Diana Askew with Pampered Chef, coming to you from my kitchen right here at Askew Acres in Buna, Texas. I welcome you to this party or group, whatever platform you're watching it from, most likely Facebook, but you can also find it on my YouTube channel. I wanted to jump on really quick because we're wrapping up a couple of parties. There's a housewarming going on for Devin and Jackson that Miss Kathy Merritt is hosting. There is also a party that just got kicked off yesterday for Joe Ellen. I'm going to post it there as well. And then Shanna is doing a party for Kobe, and Maddie. I apologize if I got those names wrong. I did not write it down. But anyway, I'm probably also going to put this in my meal prep group. It's Meal Prep 101 on Facebook, which is my VIP group. And that's a great place to go if you're not a member, for lots of recipes and lots of tips and ideas on meal prep. And speaking of meal prep, this is actually one of my favorite meals to keep in the freezer. I'm passionate about meal prep. I've been a busy mom of two very busy boys with a husband that works and works and works and works. And then of course I also work here in the house, in the home, and then part-time jobs outside the home as well. So meal prep in a small town is, I think, it's a necessity, unless you enjoy eating a lot of Sonic and Subway, and we have a couple of great restaurants in town, Fosto's and Benoit's now, formerly Calle's, but it's just, you get tired of the same old thing. Pizza, lots of pizza. But if you are a busy mom, or if you are a busy person, a busy dad, or whatever, that you're lucky to have dinner with your children in the back seat of the Suburban because you're on the way to practice, or you're on the way home from school, or you're running late to church, or to youth group. It's just good to have some freezer meals, previously prepared freezer meals that you can just throw in the crock pot. And that's exactly what we're gonna do today. Start to finish, not out of the freezer. It's a very easy recipe for my beef tips. I'm gonna tilt you down just a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. As you can see here, I have, it's not quite a pound, I think, of trimmed sirloin, and I'm gonna trim it out a little bit more. I'm gonna talk to you a little bit about some of our power tools. Power tools are those things that you really, really need to have in your kitchen every day. Every day. I grab for a knife every day. So, to keep your knife sharp, you want to run it through a honing tool. Now, our forged cutlery, I'll show you a couple of knives, but our forged cutlery is lifetime guaranteed, but you do need to have it professionally sharpened depending on how often you use it. And like I say, I use mine every day. So this is a honing tool that comes with our forged cutlery knife set. This is a lifetime purchase, which means if for any reason this stops cutting, nicks, breaks, anything like that, PC will replace it. This is the chef's knife. This thing used to scare the bejesus out of me, but I finally got used to it. So another of my, what I would call a power tool, can you see what I'm doing? I'm really just going over this. These are some choice cuts. And sometimes in the choice cuts, they leave on a little extra fat and gristle that I don't particularly want. Now, most of the time, fat equals flavor, but in my beef tips, I just want that lean, good meat. Now, if I were gonna put this up for a freezer meal, I would simply put all of these ingredients that I'm gonna show you in a freezer bag, squeeze all the air out of it, date it, that's important, and then stick it in the freezer for later use. I sometimes will dump it right in frozen. Just depends on when you're gonna eat it. We love beef tips. It's just about a staple at our house. I got a lot of meat and potato boys. My husband as well as my kiddos. I have two sons. So I put two more pieces hanging there with me. Just like I say, I'm getting this gristle. And I don't know about you, but gosh, the price of beef is so much right now. And I gotta tell you, it makes me grumpy when I have to pay for this that I'm gonna toss. But it is what it is. So all of these, and that nice, beautiful, lean sirloin. Now you can buy what they call stew meat that's already trimmed, lean stew meat. It's a little more per pound, so it just depends on, you know, what your budget is. So here I have it. All of my lovely stew meat. This, another power tool. This is the Rock Crock Dutch oven. I absolutely love this. This is our most versatile piece. Let me give it a quick rinse. Our most versatile piece of cookware is our Rock Crock line, and we have several pieces. Like I say, this is the Dutch oven. This, if you're familiar at all with our baking stones, this is very similar in that this is baking clay, coated baking clay, ceramic coated. So you can use it on the stovetop if you wanted to sear ahead of time. I'm not gonna sear today, I'm just dumping it all in, and that's fine. But if you want to sear to get that, lock in that flavor, caramelize the outside of that meat, you can do that on the stovetop with this. I'm going to use it in the slow cooker base today. Now, keep in mind, if you do decide to get this set, the slow cooker and Rock Crock, to use it as a crock pot, our slow cooker set does cook a little warmer, a little hotter than most of your crock pots on the market. So let me get this in. I love our flexible cutting mats. They come in a set of 3. And I use a couple every day. I'm gonna put this in this is our medium glass bowl, also in a set of 3. All of our glass servingware or containers are oven proof. These are made by the same company that makes our batter bowl, I'd like to say world famous batter bowl, but almost everybody has a batter bowl. Comes in 1 quart and a 2 quart size. Mine's in the dishwasher right now, which is why I'm using the medium mixing bowl. So this is also oven safe. And if you didn't know that, your batter bowls are also oven safe. Now, to this, I'm gonna add just a couple of ingredients, one being mushrooms. If you don't like mushrooms, don't use them. If you do keep mushrooms, remember, don't wash them until you're just ready to use them. Keep them in the fridge, and you wash those when you're right before you're ready to use it. I'm gonna give my knife a quick rinse. Wash, I should say. I'm gonna cross-contaminate, which is why I changed that cutting mat out as well. Now I'm just gonna cut these in 2 because I kind of want them the same size as the meat chunks that I'm putting in. But I wanted to also show you other options that I have for cutting. This is another one of our favorite products. When Pampered Chef sent me this, I thought, for one, I'm not real sure where I'm gonna store that. And for 2, I mean, I'm pretty handy with a knife. And I have the food chopper. Why do I need another slicer product? Well, let me just show you. Quick slice. How quick that is. Is that awesome? So if you wanted to slice your mushrooms, your bell pepper, your onion, your bananas, your avocado, your cherry tomatoes, whatever it is that you're slicing quickly slices. You can also, if you slice, turn them on the base and do it again, and you've diced. Slice or dice. The quick slice. So back to my mushrooms. Like I say, I just want them cut in half. And then I'm also gonna add onion. We are onion eaters. I put onion in just about everything I cook, you know, with the exception of sweets, most of the time. This is our small mesh strainer colander, stainless colander. Those also come in a set of 3. Are you seeing a theme here? Set of 3 in various sizes. So if you want to just chunk your onion, absolutely. However you would like to do it. Again, you want to kind of keep everything the same size so it cooks evenly. But if you wanted to chop it, now I mentioned our food chopper. This is another one of Pampered Chef's favorites. If you don't have it, you need it. The food chopper. Say you have those people in your family who think they don't like onions, but you love the onion flavor. You can pulverize your onion down to just about minuscule, down to juice if you'd like. So think nuts, candies, I don't know, carrots, whatever it is. When the boys were little, I used to sneak veggies into their ground beef, carrots and whatnot. Chop it up really tiny, and with carrots, I think it's cheese. And then one other tool I wanted to show you. This is our new star of the show. I've never in my life owned a food processor other than our manual food processor. This is our new Flex Prep tool, I believe it's called. Another power tool in the kitchen. This thing is awesome, and now I'm absolutely a fan of food processors. So this is the motor tool. It comes with 2 batteries that are rechargeable. And this goes to another handle that can be a beater or a wisp. This also has 3 different blades, and right now I just have the food chopper blade in it. So you guys have probably seen a food processor in action. I've seen them in action, but I've just never owned one. So if you don't want to do the food pusher downer, if you don't want to use the food chopper, but you still want to get those onions minuscule, food processor. Alrighty. This comes off. The battery comes out. You can recharge this, and because there's 2, you always have 1 charged. I love that aspect. This is a really nice size capacity. So if you're doing big jobs, maybe you don't want to get out your food chopper, your manual food processor, you could use this food processor. All comes apart, dishwasher safe, and then into the rock crock. Now again, my family doesn't mind onions so much, so I would not chop them. I just wanted to show y'all a couple of our products. Okay. See, now back to our meat mixture. I'm done with our chef's knife. Cream of chicken. Everybody has this in their cabinet, whether you know what to do with it or not. I'm sorry, cream of mushroom. Really any cream of will do, but cream of mushroom in this because I already have cream. I already have mushrooms. And those onions are talking to me this morning. Get all of this yumminess in there. And then the start of the show. Now, if I were gonna put it in the freezer, this is what I would do. I would put the cream of mushroom over the beef. Au jus. Packet of au jus. Doesn't really matter on the brand name. It's gonna make your gravy a beautiful brown color. Mix all of this up. This really doesn't want to stir. I need a bigger spatula. Let me grab that. Like this one because you get every little thing out of the can without cutting the sides of the spatula. Our mixing scrapers actually are the proper name, but this is another favorite. So if I were gonna put it in the freezer, this is where I would put it in the freezer at. Just double bag it, stick it in the freezer, and you have some beef tips ready to go. You can also freeze the mushrooms. They're fine to freeze, and the onions. They just get a head start on the cooking time. So all of this going in my rock crock. This in the warmer. I'm gonna cook it on low. The reason why I look like I do is because I'm going out to mow today. I want to get the rest of the yard mowed before it starts raining, which I think it's going to do in a couple of days. And I'm going to go see the Astros play tonight with a friend or two, and I want to get all of my chores done so I can enjoy the game without guilt. Haven't seen them play in a couple of years, so I'm looking forward to that. Now, another product I highly recommend. You can, of course, use beef broth, but I love this better than bouillon beef. So I'm just going to add a tiny bit, maybe a tablespoon, to the same bowl, and about a cup or so of the water. If you don't have our Easy Read measuring cups, another thing I highly recommend, I use the 4-cup. They also come in a set of 3. Actually, it's a set of 4 now because we have a T90 little tablespoon measurer. Easy Read measuring cup, exactly what it says. The measurements are on the slanty, so you don't have to do any acrobats to try to read where your cup is. Now, another new product for the fall we have is a sauce whisk. So I'm just gonna kind of stir this around to dissolve it. This dissolves better in warm water, but it really doesn't have to be when you're throwing it in the crock pot, because I'm gonna come in periodically and stir it around once it's in the crock pot. But this is nylon coated, the spiral whisk part, so this will beat all of the lumps out of your gravy and without scratching your nonstick. And speaking of nonstick, I'm just pouring this water and bouillon right over the meat, onion, and mushroom mixture. All of these also dishwasher safe. Get the lid on that. Speaking of nonstick, another power tool in your kitchen. Nonstick cookware, or any cookware for that matter. But this is our 10-inch nonstick fry pan. This is one of my favorite pans. I probably use it just about every day. I used this one this morning to scramble some eggs. The handle's removed so that if you have a small storage area, you can stack them more easily. You can get these in a set, or I believe you can order these by itself. This one doesn't come with the lid, but the lid from the Rock Crock fits the 10-inch nonstick pan. Now, I was going to mention other knives that we have. Let me show you. We have a line called Color Coded Knives. Now, these are not lifetime guaranteed, but they really hold up nicely. I've been with Pampered Chef for 10 years now, and I got one of these in my kit. It's the Santoku knife, and it's still just as sharp. I do pull it through the honing tool, maybe monthly, because I don't use it as often as I do my chef's knife. But color coded, wonderful first purchase if you're new to your kitchen, or perhaps college student just moving out. We have a smaller, these are the small cutting mats, also come in a set of 3. We have our small paring knives. Now these are a must-have. I reach for one of these just about every day. Every day for sure, sometimes multiple times. Open a package, paring knife, so you can pair with it, you can cut with it, you can cut onions, cut the ends off of onions, whatever. And they're color-coded. So there's also an orange mat with this, and then the third paring knife is purple. So there's an option. You can actually break those up in 3 and have 3 little gifts. Another one of our new products is this plastic, well, it's not plastic, I guess it's acrylic bowl. I love this bowl. I do have a bowl fetish, I will admit. I love bowls. I want one of each size and each color. Love bowls. But we introduced this bowl because of our new Flex Prep tool. The hand mixer is actually better in this sort of bowl rather than your glass. It will start chipping your glass. Or you could get our stainless steel bowls, which is also fine. Let's see, you can't see that. But also in a set of 3. Stainless steel mixing bowls. I use those quite often, especially during canning season. Okay, as far as cutting mats, You do want one of the cutting mats to cut with, whether you're using one of our knives or one of your knives, because you don't want to dull your knives. And some of those cutting boards, though they are beautiful, glass cutting platforms, those will dull your knife, and you can also end up with those little slivers in your food. You don't want that. Well, I had that bowl out because I wanted to show y'all our new spritzer. Now, if you've seen our kitchen spritzer before, it's very pretty. The old one is round. It's also white. You fill with oil of your choice. This is just Crisco vegetable oil is what I have in here. You fill it up to the fill line. You give it a quick pump, and then it turns your oil into an aerosol mist. This one is actually finer than our old one. Now, if you do decide to purchase this, and I think you should going into baking season, save yourself some money on Pam and Baker's Joy. If you do purchase some of that in the can, I highly recommend Baker's Joy. The other two will leave a silicone residue on your baking pans. Not to mention they're flammable. If you had a couple of boys, you would know that. So, burp the baby. If you get this one, always release that pressure before you stick it back up in your cabinet. Okay, it seems like one other thing I wanted to tell you about is something that we have on sale this month. It's our taste buds. If you're new to our seasonings, I think taste buds is absolutely the way to go. It's a way that you can drive. You can try our new rubs and seasonings without buying the whole bottle. Now, I don't know. I don't think we have a bad one, so any choice that you make, I think you're going to enjoy. If you don't know what to do with it, message me, text me. I can give you a recipe or a suggestion on what to do with it. If your dilemma, your kitchen dilemma, is the same as 99.9% of us, when Pampered Chef sent out surveys to ask folks what their biggest problem in the kitchen is, how can we solve your kitchen dilemma? The number one reason was, how do I cook? What do I cook? I don't know what to cook. Please help me figure out what to have for supper every night. So this was the answer to that. This is called Taste Buds. Each month, if you purchase a subscription each month, Taste Buds is going to send you Pampered Chef is going to send you, I'm so sorry, 3 recipes, exclusive recipes. So you can't just go to pamperedchef.com and get these recipes. There are thousands of recipes on my website, but not these. These are exclusive. So every month you get also 3 packets of seasoning or rub. And they're interchangeable with the recipe cards. Sometimes it's an exclusive rub. Like last month we got this honey sriracha. We cannot order this. I hope they start carrying it because it is fabulous. Honey sriracha recipe card. And also, say you get these 3 recipes and you're like, my family is not going to eat that. I'm not even cooking it. 4th card that gives you several ideas of how else to use these rubs. And then again, none of these are to your liking. Call me. I'll find you something. I promise I'll find you something to do with it. So this month only, in the month of September, you can purchase Taste Buds at 20% off. 3-month subscription or 6-month subscription. And I do recommend that. Okay, what else? Oh, I can also now offer you a mix. This is a meal mix. We have chili and we have this Tuscan style herb chicken, and it gives you directions, and also there's other ways that you can use these, either as seasoning or as it's intended. So here's you a couple of suppers, and here's you 3 per month. So Pampered Chef's trying to solve your kitchen dilemmas. If you have a dilemma, give me a comment below and I will try to solve it. If I can't solve it, I promise you Pampered Chef can. They're always looking for problems to solve in your kitchen. So I really appreciate you tuning in. I hope I've covered just a couple of things that you might enjoy. If there's a product that you would like to see, let me know. I'd be happy to jump back on and show you how to use something. A lot of times in parties or even in in-home parties, there are folks there that still have a product that they purchased in the box and they have no idea what to do with it. Let me help you out with that. I'd love to. So if you were in a party, at the top of the group, there will be a shopping link posted. I will probably message you before we close the party, just in case you've forgotten to place your order, or you know what, if you don't place an order, that's fine. You can also have your own party. That's another way you can support your host. And if you're just here to grab the recipes, that's okay too. Be sure and join my meal prep group though. There's lots and lots of recipes there. Anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Thank you for tuning in. Let me know how you tuned in below and who invited you to watch this video. I think that's all I have to tell for you. So, Diana Askew signing out. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.